Hey guys, Rob and Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe, here in our ongoing deep descent into the X-Files, Season 3, Episode 4, considered by Chris Carter to be the greatest X-File episode in all of its wonderful Monster of the Week / mythology arc canon? I don't know about that, but I can see why he says that for sure. Excellent episode, starring, well, the great Peter Boyle. I was just thinking, I don't know why I always want to forget his name. If you don't know Peter Boyle right off the top of your head, everyone loves Raymond. He's the dad, the older guy, right? But if you want to see Peter Boyle, it's Peter Boyle. Outland with Sean Connery as the U.S. Marshal, space station, drug ring, absolutely underrated, maybe, perhaps. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. Phenomenal film, though. And Peter Boyle as the antagonist he is awesome as a bad guy. But also Stu Charno, if that's how you say his last name. He's Ted from Friday the 13th Part 2. He plays our killer here. And what you have here is a killer who is running amok amongst both psychics and fortune tellers. In one place, he says to one fortune teller as he's slowly and methodically just gripping onto her hand, and she starts to cry out a bit. He's, that it hurts. And he says, I know, but you're a fortune teller. You should have saw this coming, and of course the look on her face is priceless. And she might be the one who ends up in a dumpster, which brings in Peter Boyle's character, with his name of Clyde Bruckman, of course. Clyde Bruckman's final Repose. First drops October 13th, 1995. I did not go back in time and look to see if that happened to be a Friday. That'd been pretty cool. Episode 4, though, Season 3. Those are the two main guests. You also have Joap Broeker, is that his last name, as his stupendous Yappy. There is some I'm just thinking about absolutely hilarious scene when he's first introduced to both Mulder and Scully. They're at a crime scene, and before Mulder and Scully can really quite get deep into what they think, this stupendous Yappy, who is a renowned, famous psychic, TV psychic, is invited by the police to try to ascertain any insight into the crime scene, and that would be of help to the police. And this guy is a Yappy. Is the perfect name to describe him. He is a yap, man. The guy is so hilarious. Looking at when he first comes in, so he's going through the run mill, right? And he's going through the impressions and the things that he is sensing. And he, all of a sudden, he just stops. And he looks at, he's like, I sense a negative vibe in this room. And he's looking around, and of course, as soon as he sees Scully, their eyes lock, and he just right up to Scully, and they are near like face to face. It is such an hilarious moment. Her expression, and then he immediately turns right from her to Mulder and just starts to grill him up and down about his skepticism, which is funny because Scully is the skeptic, right? And so Mulder feels as someone who is deeply misunderstood in the moment, but he is forced to be ushered out of the room so that the stupendous Yappy can continue on. Also, Peter Boyle was, if you didn't know this, was Frankenstein in Young Frankenstein. Interesting. So the killer is running amok amidst psychics and fortune tellers. It doesn't take long for Mulder and Scully to get called in as support to help try to ascertain who the killer may be to save lives, right? And they will, Peter Boyle, or his character, Clyde Bruckman, will He is another one who seems to have a flair for the psychic impression vision in terms of people dying. There is a scene that's pretty creepy. He is an insurance salesman, and he's at a house, a couple's house, and he's trying his best to sell them life insurance. And the guy the husband doesn't want anything to do with it because they're getting ready to buy a boat, in which case he basically reads the guy's death. Now, the guy doesn't realize this is actually how he probably is going to die, which is hit by a drunk driver, I think, on his way home. And all the guy can do is say, dude, man, seriously, you need to work on your closing bit there, whatever. But has a weird, creepy undertone to that scene. But I do believe he says, Bruckman says within the episode that with Buddy Holly's death in the airplane crash, he apparently gave way too much thought to it all, and suddenly developed this innate sense of being able to see people's final, ultimate outcome, which he sees as maybe a self-manifested curse upon himself. There's a great moment between him and Mulder where Mulder is very envious of this gift and wants to tap into it. And there's a great scene in the car, actually, when they're going out to a possible crime scene. This is, of course, being led by Clyde Bruckman's own vision impression of what he has seen. Mulder's like a kid in the back seat, man, just trying to tap in, man. He wants to know, and Clyde just did not have anything to do with it, man. And that leads to some interestingly deep conversations, not only between Clyde and Mulder, but Clyde and Scully, who ultimately has asked him, have you seen my final? And that is, mortality is probably underlies the length of this episode. And if we had the ability to know how we would go, would we want to? Mulder says emphatically, yes. Clyde says, you're wrong. You don't know. And believe me, I wish I didn't have this because I don't want it. I think he says a beautiful line. I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head, but there is a no return policy or something to these visions. He can't just put this back on a shelf and not, it is what it is. And the minute he finds the body of the one fortune teller in the dumpster outside his house or apartment, he is connected forevermore to both Mulder and Scully. So Clyde has these impressions that ultimately help lead us to our final outcome of the episode. Surprisingly, Stu Charno, our killer, has psychic tendencies as well, as he sends a note in the mail to Clyde Bruckman, postmarked a day before Clyde ever even finds the body in the dumpster, therefore tying him to the hip of Mulder and Scully. So, there's, psychic impressions abound in this. We don't know just how good this stupendous yappy is, but we're sort of given a hint that of the three, he is sort of the back burner one, the one that's sort of, you may hit it from time to time, and he's reached some level of success that these guys haven't. The killer is played by Stu Charno. He is haunted by this as well, and deeper probing question as to why is he killing people, and you're never really led to exactly, does he love killing? Does he just want to continue to kill? Perhaps he does enjoy it, but he doesn't understand where all this comes from, and he wants to know more. And so his hunt through the slew of psychic fortune tellers, which is a great scene with one fortune teller in which he acknowledges the best one that he had seen. The last card to be turned over, he leaves for the fortune teller, which is, of course, death. And the latest, and he might be the final victim. Although the bodyguard for Bruckman's character, Bruckman, might have been the last. Yeah, he's the last person killed, I'm pretty sure, in the episode. Great too is Bruckman doesn't want to necessarily, lend to people certain outcomes in their life. He just happens to receive these impressions, but he does give Mulder a priceless gift, and that is a premonition of sorts that will come in handy later, that will, in the nick of time, literally save Mulder from the clutches of the killer's hand, and thus setting the killer up to be killed by Scully. And a great impression, too, that was shared by Bruckman to Scully as to their final outcome in this meeting, or this moment that they have together, which both will be in bed, which she laughs off as, something that it's not. And Bruckman's like, well, I just call him as I see it. And it's a great moment in the end, because then she realizes what he saw, what he meant. And she is emotionally overtaken by that in the end. It's a great episode dealing with David Nutter directed it, and he's the one who did the crazy circus freak show episode that was just unbelievable. Daniel Morgan writing. Emmys went out galore on this one, man. Peter Boyle for sure won one. I think David Nutter might have got one. Daniel Morgan for the writing. This was a highly, from a critical point of view, highly well received episode. And on my Blu-ray, which again I'm working out of this wonderful series or release, there's a nice little introduction at the beginning by both, I think, Daniel Morgan and I think it's Daniel Morgan and Chris Carter, commenting just for a few minutes on this show and its importance to the overall arc. Great moment in here. Clyde Bruckman has a little piece of, he's given, to sort of maybe balance things out, throw him off or whatever, but he's given amongst a number of things, crime-related things that Mulder has given him to just test him out. He gets a small piece of a T-shirt, and he basically says, this is a piece of your New York Knicks shirt, which is a throwback to the Boggs episode, in which case Mulder tells him, after Boggs, who had said, he's getting all these visions and stuff in sight from this little piece of cloth, and Mulder's like, ain't working with me, bud. That's my shirt. That's from my New York Knicks t-shirt. So there's a nice little throwback to an earlier episode, which is really cool too. That's a great scene. Oh, Queequeg! Almost forgot! The entrance of Queequeg at 13 minutes. Please tell me you're still with me. Queequeg, who we will see, the little dog that we'll see in Quagmire, the Loch Ness episode, towards the tail end of season 3. The dog is the residence, belongs to the residence in the apartment complex of Clyde Bruckman, elderly lady that he helps from time to time, who gets a vision of not only the lady's death, but the dog feasting on her, which is a really morbid sight. But apparently animals will do this, especially if they're left. Now, dogs are different. Dogs apparently will go quite a length of time before they will begin to chew on their respective owners. Cats, man, they don't wait time. They don't wait, man. It's like, psh, sorry, and they just start eating in your face, and that's some nasty, morbid stuff, man. But Queequeg, he is a Pomeranian, named after, Scully names him, and I didn't know this, but this is a cue in to a much bigger picture. He is named after, Queequeg is named after the harpooner in Moby Dick, and remember, she calls her dad Ahab, so there is a Moby Dick here, and maybe there's just something about Moby Dick's sort of theme that underlies all of the X-Files about just chasing after that which either A, won't happen in the end and will elude you, or if you do finally grab hold of it, it will be to your demise, perhaps. But so we get the dog that we'll see later on in, and I don't know if you see the dog between now and Quagmire, because there's quite a few episodes in between, and so I'm curious. But so you get that too. So a lot of neat little things. And that's actually, I did write it down. That's episode 22. in season 3 that was Quagmire. Yeah, Billy Boyle, or not Billy, Peter Boyle. I'm thinking Billy from No, not Scream. Billy from Black Christmas. So anyways, quick note on we're in the summer months, and I got a more free time than I normally do, so I'm not going to necessarily just anchor myself to Wednesdays, although Wednesday is the main day. I may just drop some along the way as I can get to them. And then as we get back into the fall, it'll be strictly Wednesdays, and that is it. So throw that out, as I may go ahead and just upload this one today, just for fun, and see if I can't get the regular Wednesday out, which would be the next episode on my next disc. So I just wanted to throw that out, and that's the reason why you're going to see more episodes probably frequently throughout the week. I have more time now in the summer months to do that. And I know this is my channel, and I've left a lot by the wayside. My Italian series, my Crazy Fives, the occasional left field vid. I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to revive all this stuff up again, but I realize with the X-Files being my only mainstay right now, leaves a little bit to be desired, probably. So I need to put some thought into that. And I think I pretty much ran the Italian one too. I mean, I have a few more in my collection. Money's so tight these days. I just don't have the resources to continually build my Italian library. And so I was bound to run in towards the end of that. And with the Crazy Fives, I just ran out of ideas for the moment. So, but if you got an idea, and at 16, almost 17 minutes in, I hope you're with me. Drop a comment down below, and whatever it is, and I'll give some thought to it, and perhaps maybe I'll even do it. I love working off of other people's ideas that they throw at you. It's a lot of fun. Can be a lot of fun. So, Clyde Bruckman's final Repose, Peter Boyle. Outstanding episode. And Stu Charno from Friday the 13th Part 2 again. Thank you for the support. Thank you for just plugging in and watching me, especially in these longer episodes. Really appreciate it. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much. We end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream. We might be useful to